U.S. border opened up, and that includes my next guest, who's launched an ad campaign.
Prime Minister Trudeau and President Biden, I clean restaurants for a living. Because the border is still closed, I lost my job. President Biden.
That's a clip from a citizen-funded commercial set to run in Canada this week. The ad was produced and paid for by a retired American man who wants the border opened up as soon as possible. The ad has already been running in 3 states. John Adams joins us now from New York. John Adams, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, David. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Your ad's been running already in the U.S. What's been the reaction so far?
It's been pretty amazing to me. I ran the ad initially because I have a home on Vancouver Island I haven't been able to get to, and it was to do that. But once I got to Buffalo and I started meeting some people who were separated from the people that they love, one couple wanted to get, engaged couple, have been trying to get married for 2 years. My focus turned on those people because it's simply not protective in any way to keep families and loved ones apart. If someone wanted to read many comments like that, I have a GoFundMe page, and there's so many comments on there, and most of them are coming from people who are separated from loved ones. And my point on all of this is vaccinated U.S. citizens pose no threat to Canadians. In fact, to downplay the vaccination is almost playing into the anti-vaxxers' hands by saying, well, we really don't believe vaccines work. If we did, we'd let people come in who were vaccinated.
Do you get different reactions depending on where your ad has been seen, like different reactions from Americans than from Canadians?
Actually, no. I mean, I've gotten a few extremely negative comments from Canadians, some from Americans, but by and large, I would say 80% of the comments that I've been getting from Canadians have been very, very positive. You know, when you talk about travel and airports and that sort of thing, less than 1% of Canada's COVID cases can even be traced to travelers coming into the country.
You're going to run this ad in Canada this Wednesday and Thursday, and it's a pretty tough ad. It looks a little bit like a political attack ad in a lot of ways. I mean, what's your message here to the Canadian government?
Well, my message is, let's quit kicking the can down the road. On January 22nd, President Biden said, let's get together with the Canadians and start working on a plan. Well, every month on the 21st, 3 or 4 days before that, they said, well, we're going to kick the can down the road another month. Yes, my message is hard, but I don't want to run those ads. What I would rather run would be an ad that said, thank you, Prime Minister Trudeau, thank you, President Biden, for listening. And I would like for my ads to shift to a message that says, and these ads I would want to run back in the United States and in Canada, if you haven't been vaccinated, go get a vaccination. They're safe, they're effective, it's the right thing to do. If you don't think it's the right thing to do for you, think about your loved ones. It's just the safe and right thing to do.
This is an expensive undertaking to get to go to your summer home on Vancouver Island. I mean, how much money are you spending on this? And is Vancouver Island the first place you go once the border opens?
Yeah, if it opens at 12:01, I'll be in line at 12. But I have spent I'm not going to say how much of my own money I've spent, but I will say I have spent about $2,700 of the money that's been donated running the ads in the United States. Not one single dime has been to pay for an ad in Canada yet. The first ad actually will not run until Friday, and it will run in Ottawa. The following week, it will run in Vancouver, and it will run in Toronto. I have collected, as of a few minutes ago, about almost $24,000. I buy very selective.
From Canadian donors or from American donors or from both?
From both. I would say at this point, the Canadian donors, don't hold me to this, but I'm going to say it's about 5,000 of the 27,000. But it wasn't until about 3 or 4 days ago that these ads began to drift over into Canada through social media. So I expect that number to grow. I would just encourage people, whether you want to donate or make a comment or whatever, I would encourage people to go to that GoFundMe page. You can find it by going to John Adams, Open the Border, and read some of the comments. It's just amazing. So they'll start Friday in Ottawa. They'll start Monday and next week in Toronto and Vancouver. Let's make it be a thank you ad and an ad about go get a vaccination. I'm tired of running attack ads.
Okay, well, John Adams will watch for the ads. We'll let you know if the Prime Minister changes his mind. This is John Adams in New York. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, well, the White House